Like so many other communities in New England, Southern Vermont is not immune to the toll that the opioid addiction crisis is taking. The city of Brattleboro has a population of about 12,000 people, and it's right off Interstate 91, what many people call the heroin highway. Carolee McGrath talked with Brattleboro police officer Adam Petlock to find out how the department and the community at large is dealing with the crisis.
Here in Brattleboro, we're kind of at the crossroads for a lot of different areas. We have a major Interstate 91 that comes through town. We're very close to both Massachusetts and the New Hampshire border. So it's easy access for people to come from other areas. And we're certainly seeing an increase in the amount of overdoses, property crimes.
Now, when people come up here, it's so beautiful, and you're in Vermont, you wouldn't expect that you also would be facing this crisis. Do you get that a lot from people?
I grew up in Massachusetts. I hear from people all the time, you know, there can't be anything like this up in Vermont. All you got up there is cows and farms. People just go up to see the leaves. Everything looks nice up there, but we do have all those great things here in Vermont, but you also have the same problems that are experienced in other places.
And from a law enforcement perspective, how do you combat that flow of drugs? So it starts in New York and Mexico before that, I'm sure, going up to New Haven, Springfield, and then all of the stops along the way. How do you combat that?
We combat the problem with a two-prong approach. One, with enforcement efforts, we have a drug task force that works throughout the state with a variety of entities. We have detectives that their primary job and objective is to combat that. And we direct a lot of our patrols, whether it's foot patrols or vehicle patrols, at the areas where we have the most problems or most drug-related issues. And we also try to fight it with a community approach. I mean, if you don't get out there and talk to the community members and understand what the problem is and what these people are experiencing, then you're not gonna be able to combat the issue. So we try to take a community approach, get to know people in town, get to know the people that are involved in this, work with other organizations.
How do you reach out to those people who need help? Even as somebody in law enforcement, how are you able to provide those services and decipher between them and perhaps the dealer?
The first thing you can do is just talk to people out in the street. I mean, if once you talk to people and you understand a little about, like nobody got into using opiates intentionally that they wanted to do it. Nobody wanted to get into this and be addicted to drugs. So you try to get in their mind and understand what they're going through. And once you can understand what they're going through and the situation they're in, you can better combat the problem. We have a social worker that works directly with us on a regular basis. She'll often get involved in these situations. We have the Brattleboro Retreat is in town here. We have a methadone clinic, a Suboxone clinic. We work with the hospital firsthand a lot. We understand that there's people that need our help. And then there's also enforcement action that needs to be taken, because if people are taking advantage of others and profiting off injury and harm to others, then we want to combat that as well.
And what kind of relationship, working relationship do you have with the schools?
We have a very good relationship with the schools. We try to get in there and talk to the children, before they're involved in this kind of thing, so that they understand the way these things work, the way these things operate. We try to talk to the parents so that they know what kind of signs to look for that their children may be involved.
And something else that I think is unique as well is that you have a prescription drug take-back program, which is all year round, which in other areas is sometimes designated for just a few times a year.
Right, so we have a take-back box that's in our hallway at the Brattleboro Police Department. So anytime someone has unused medication or medication that they just want to get rid of, they can throw it in that. And we understand that, again, when you're talking about an opiate problem, a lot of people develop this from prescription drugs, legal prescription drugs like oxycodone or Percocet.
And are you seeing other types of drugs like these? Like how prevalent is fentanyl or some of these other ones that have been coming out?
You see a lot of drugs that, for instance, you respond to an overdose from someone that had just used or injected heroin, and you can always have that assumption that there could have been something mixed with it, but we don't generally see it firsthand. Like you hear it afterwards. And in talking to people on the street, a lot of people will mention that they had used stuff that was laced with fentanyl or other ingredients, so sometimes you just don't know.
And what is your typical call like, or the bulk of the calls that you have in town?
Certainly we do get calls for welfare checks or overdose-related incidents, but we also get we have a lot of property crimes that occur, a lot of car break-ins, burglaries. A lot of these people can't hold a job. So their way to keep using is by committing crimes.
So what is your message to parents and to other people in the community as you go forward?
I would say just be vigilant, and like you hear a lot of the time, just talk to your children, talk to them at a young age, have them understand what the problem is, know the signs to look for. If your children are acting differently than they normally do, that should be a sign to at least start looking into what they're doing, who they're hanging out with.
And certainly clearing out your medicine cabinets as well, because I think a lot of people take that for granted. Oh, no one's going to go near that.
They do, and like I said, a lot of this starts, with someone just taking a Percocet or an oxycodone, and they say, well, I need more now to maintain, and it goes from there. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Officer Adam Petlock, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us what you guys have been experiencing up here.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you.